Hello and greetings, my fellow Lone Darkians, and welcome to talking about the badges and the feats in the Long Dark. Now, currently there are 13, though one has been retired. It was only available for like a day or two at most. But I do have it ranked in here, though I lowered it a little bit, just to be fair, because I'm ranking these as well, all 13 feats. But I lowered it a little bit because it's just something you can't get anymore. Can't even really throw out the number, I suppose. But alright, well, first I do want to talk about a run. Because on Pilgrim, you got 5, so you can go pretty crazy. I would definitely recommend Firemaster. You don't need the big cat killer or anything. Book smarts. Settled mind you don't have to worry about, though it does make your book learning a little faster. So you could. Celestial Navigator isn't very worth it to me. Blizzard Walker is also kind of nice because you get going against the wind. Straight to the Heart is okay. Expert Tracker, I don't think you really need. Snow Walker is pretty decent. Firemaster, I'd definitely pick one up. Efficient Machine is also pretty good for a Pilgrim run. Cold Fusion, you're really not going to need that. Voyager, though, you get a little bit more tricky because you only got 4. For 4, I mean, getting cabin fever and Voyager seemed to ever happen. I haven't been on Voyager a ton lately, but to me, not really worth it, I would say. Celestial Navigator is still pretty worthless to me. We'll leave out Big Cat Killer because not everybody has that. Dark Walker, that's more at your night traveler. That's kind of up to you. I don't really normally travel at night just because also in the videos it doesn't show up as well. But I only usually travel at night also if it's an emergency or we have an Aurora, we have a Tails quest or something like that. Now Blizzard Walker, like I said, would be decent for that. I would still recommend like Firemaster. Book Smarts could also get too, because in my opinion, this isn't too difficult a difficulty. It's pretty easy. Maybe Efficient Machine as well. So you can still play around with it. But on Stalker, it gets a little more interesting, I would definitely say. Now, if you did have Big Cat Killer, I would recommend it. Just because, yeah, you're not going to get jumped as much. That's a big thing in Interloper. The wolves are tougher. But there are less of them. In Stalker, they're not as tough, but there's a lot of them. Like we said, there is a lot of wolves in that regard. So I would feel like, yeah, if you have it, yeah, otherwise, I would probably still go Firemaster, though. Because I just like to be lazy. I mean, you can get up to fire level 3 we don't have tinder plugs pretty easy. But it's still nice right out the bat just to be at 5. But I also do recommend Snow Walker. That's really great for getting your stamina bar up because you're going to be running a lot. There's some things trying to kill you. A Cold Fusion I don't think you really need. Efficient Machine isn't bad in this regard. I mean, Settled Mind also would be very good in this regard too for Cabin Fever. As you can see on our Broken Silence run, because if you're going for that Langston Mind challenge, I think that's got to be a must-have. It makes it a lot easier. It's still doable, but it is a pain. But yeah, that's your 3 for Stalker. Yeah, I mean, Book Smarts, you can throw in a couple of variety there. Whatever is your poison. Now, Interloper is an interesting one because you only get 2. Now, always, I kind of feel like for me, Snow Walker is the one. Also, but I also probably highly recommend Cold Fusion. In that regard. Cold Fusion in the beginning of the run, especially if you're kind of newer to Interloper and everything. Sometimes you go into a place right after you spawn and it's still too cold. Like by 1 degree or 2 degree. Yeah, that Cold Fusion can make the difference between life and death. Very early on, I mean, it won't be worth really anything later for the most part. But it's definitely an edge if you need the edge. But also probably Settled Mind too. Just in case you're inside a lot. It does make life a little bit easier. Cabin Fever. I generally on Interloper, I try to stay out as much as I can. Like early Cabin Fever, you'd probably be pretty good on. And of course, Misery. Nah, you don't get any feats on that one. All right, let's go talk about and rank these badges. All right, so let's get into the feats. Now, Celestial Navigator. You get this from the DLC, so if you don't have the DLC, it does not apply to you. But you walk faster on a clear night or during an aurora. To me, you come in at number 13. You're, I, I don't see where you come in handy. Unless you're really only walking out at nights. Maybe you're doing a custom run with like Forever Night or something. Maybe. But otherwise, I don't have a use for you. I'm not going to use you. I've tried you just to see, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. But that's all. Of course, always, this is just my opinion. It is always up to you. Let me know in the comments how you rank them and what you think are the best perks there. Now, Settled Mind, it is nice. For one guard, it does relieve a lot of the hassle. Because I think Cabin Fever is kind of a stupid mechanic. At best, it was a knee-jerk reaction. Because they didn't like the way you were playing the game. Basically what it boiled down to. But at the time, I thought that was okay. I mean, kind of one of the originals for the cabin, passing time, hibernating, as it's been known to called. Because really, there wasn't anything to do. Like, you would just be basically trying to fast forward your run to get to the end game. Now there's a lot more activities, there's a lot more stuff to do, there's a ton of maps, there's all kinds of things, more animals, etc. That's okay. But still, Cabin Fever still arrives, and it's also kind of weird, because this is part of the DLC, because this is almost like a single-player game, but it's like creating a problem and then selling you a solution a little bit, but not really. But you're immune from Cabin Fever, and research actions happen 20% faster. So if you're doing your books, that's saving you a little time. Buckled with book smarts, pretty good. I don't know if I'd probably recommend it on Interloper, but on Stalker or Voyager, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you won't need this. They don't have Cabin Fever on Pilgrim. Now, did rank in a Settled Mind at number 4, though. I think it is of immense benefit, especially just from Cabin Fever, so I think it is a necessity. Now, this one I almost would have ranked number 1, but not everybody has it. Yeah, it's a legacy feat, can no longer be unlocked. Because you kill 3 cougars in a single game. But the thing is, yeah, wildlife are way less aware of your presence. Pretty bad. Like, I think it just needed a nerf, but they completely took it out of the game. They're coming out with some other perk or something, maybe. But this will always be in the game now if you had it. But yeah, you can't get it anymore. You can probably maybe mod it into your game, though, probably. But it is really, really useful. It is quite nice, especially on Stalker on our current Broken Silence run. And I want to put it on there, as you can get around a lot of Timberwolf packs too. It makes life really, really nice. So I did have that come in at number 3. Now, Darkwalker, not something. This is very situational. I can't see myself using this a lot like I ever have. But Darkwalker challenge on your challenges. It's fun, it's tense. If you're not really into kind of tension stuff, probably avoid it. But if you're playing Long Dark, you're probably into that. So yeah, you get less fatigued at night, but more fatigued during the day. Not really my cup of tea. But I mean, that could be very situational. You wanted to do a, a Forever Night run. Then, very useful. But I ranked that one in at number 12. All right, then we get to Blizzard Walker. Yeah, you spend 20 days outdoors during blizzards. This is what I this is one that's semi-useful because it is nice. You can notice the difference. It's not extreme, but the speed reduction for walking into the wind is reduced by 25%. Because when you're walking in the wind, you'll notice sometimes you slow down to a crawl. No matter how, much you're not carrying, you could be very low carry weight and you're still really getting slowed down. Yeah, this is why, because the wind's coming into you. So I feel like this is if you've got room to spare on a feat and you can't decide, this is a pretty decent one. And it's pretty easy. Spending 20 days outdoors during blizzards. I've been playing for like 11 years though, so that it would take a while. You could probably speed that up, just get a fire barrel, hang out during a blizzard, make sure you're wind covered, make sure nothing happens to your clothes. But it's something you could grind out if you wanted to. But I rank Blizzard Walker about number 8. It's okay. It gets the job done. Now this one I might change my mind on. I never really used it before. But I mean, it does have its advantages. Yeah, user consume 250 coffee, energy drinks, or emergency stims. That's not in a single game, that's multiple games. You now experience the effects of coffee, energy drinks, and emergency stims for 25% longer. That's not 25% more health or anything in stims. It's just like the length of it, how it goes. I do believe. So, not terrible. Yeah, the benefits are 25% better, but they're longer. Now, in a clutch, I could see that being very good because sometimes I've had to pop a stim and you're not as close as you'd like to be. So this is kind of like another very situational. You might not ever need it, but it'd be nice to have. And overall, 25% longer on coffee too. Energy drinks. This could get you out of a jam. Like I said, it's kind of in the middle ground for perks. I do have this one coming in at number 9. So yeah, it's kind of in the middle ground. And then we get Expert Tracker. You've snared 100 rabbits. Your snares are now 100% more effective. Honestly, my snares are usually so. I mean, it depends on range rule. I've had some bad times, and I have a lot of great times. I generally have never really used this except once to test it out or twice, maybe sure on a video. Let me know what you think in the comments, but Expert Trapper, I don't really need it. If I have room, or like we're doing a map tour video or something, sure. Yeah, like a Voyager Pilgrim, yeah, why not? Have fun with it. On a stalker run or interloper, not for me probably. But yeah, you're 1% effective. I never really feel a big difference. I have that one coming in at number 10. Now, one you might disagree with me on this one, but I think this one has saved my butt more times than I can tell. And you did have to do a little bit of work for this one because you have to have traveled 1,000 kilometers in a game. So that's quite a bit of walking, but we've been walking for quite a long time. Now, the benefit is your stamina bar recharges 20% faster. I've been in a lot of jams. You've seen that over the years. I've gotten myself into some things. And this baby right here has gotten me out of it. Because if you're running a wolf, something else, if you're in a long kind of chase, that extra 20%, that comes handy in a clutch. I like to have it, if possible, in my 2. Generally, this is one of my first ones. Yeah, it's my go-to in interloper, personally. Now, you can change that. What I do, Big Cat Killer? I mean, that would get you out of some jams. But I would prefer Snowwalker. Because that will definitely get you out of the clutch if you need it. So that actually is, ladies and gentlemen, my number one feat. Yeah, that's the one I always like to go with if I can. It's pretty good. Now this one, Free Runner, you sprint 50 kilometers. Sprinting now burns 25% more fewer calories. Well, if you're an interloper, you're probably not sprinting a ton. I generally don't do too much. Probably more than most, but I generally don't do it too much. Unless we're in a hurry. So I think it's... Maybe you got some spare slots. Maybe. You don't have all the badges. Maybe you have this one first. Sure. But overall, I think this, yeah, coming in about number 11. Not very useful to me. I don't use it myself. Alright, now the one kind of my favorite. I like to call this my lazy favorite. And it's nice. You won't need this after like a month or 2 at most in game. But you successfully started 1,000 fires. And let you know, there was a bug in this game where I got this and then they took it away. Like the feat disappeared. And I had to do it again. And I was not happy, but I did it. I went into Pilgrim and I lit so many fires. So many. I just started a fire every 2 feet. Oh. But anyway, yeah, from now on, all your survivors start with a level 3 fire starting skill. That doesn't mean it's a pretty good chance to get a fire in the beginning. Tinder plug. You don't need those. Just easy amount of life. Not too shabby. I do highly recommend on Stalker or less. On Interloper, I would probably not worry about it. Yeah, personally, I think so. This one comes out to me as a 5. Yeah. And like on soccer less, yeah, go for it. Otherwise, yeah, an interloper, nah, give it a pass. Efficient machine. You've survived 500 days. Your body has adapted to these tough conditions. You now consume 10% fewer calories. And you know me, I'm a starvaholic sometimes. Though on a Broken Sound series, I have kept that boy fed. You gotta give it up to me. Now, yeah, 10% less calories. Not bad. Can pile it up. Would I do it on Interloper? No. It's not worth it. I mean, great to disagree, but I just don't personally feel like 10% more on Interloper would really make a huge deal. Because you can get well fed and keep it all the time on Interloper. I just like to torture Will. True story. Overall, efficient machine. I have it coming in a middle, a little bit on the lower end. I have it coming at number 7. It's okay, yeah, like on Stalker or less. Yeah, I'd probably recommend it too. Now this one, I do feel like this is also fairly important for, you know, newer players getting into Interloper. Or maybe you're very macho, you're like, I just got into this, I'm going to play it on Interloper. But do remember, they have Misery first if you want to try it first. But I do recommend, yeah, if anything, go for Stalker. Get your head around the game. I do highly recommend also as well, getting a Pilgrim, learn the maps first. You're going to have a much better time. Some people, like, they'll hop right into Interloper or something, get frustrated, get upset. I'm like, you got to learn the maps. You got to learn the systems. Once you get that down, then progress. But all right, this is kind of my choice. You spend a total of 100 days outside. You're now less susceptible to cold and get it permanent, so that's 2 degrees. Well, granted, I don't think you need it in Stalker or below. Interloper, 2 degrees in the first couple days. I don't think I really need it, but I think other players could definitely use it. Because you could be inside a place and hey, and you're in bed, you're still cold. That 2 degrees could save your life. So I would give it a recommend. I mean, it's a cushion. It's just in case. So that situation, I think it does, yeah, go very, very well. So that's why I have it all the way up at number 2. And last but not least, we've got Book Smarts. You completed 250 hours of research. So we read a lot of books. From now on, you get 10% more benefit from each completely researched book. Like if you're going for that, getting all the skills to 5, which is something you can't do in Interloper. Yeah, you can just Stalker or below because you can't get all those skills in Interloper. Yeah, I would do it. I mean, combined with Settled Mind, not bad. It's okay. 10% more benefit. That's getting your skills faster. You're gonna have an easier time. Definitely Stalker less. I would definitely go for it. That's why I have it a little bit lower on my list. I have it coming in at 6. But alright, Long Darkians, let me know what you think of that rating in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe for more Long Dark content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.